We're going to go over my my event photography playbook and how to make six figures in photography if you are a photographer out there and struggling. So I just want to start off and I want you to think about if you know a photographer or if you are a photographer and you are struggling in your business, um, like today, like where are you at? Are you struggling in your business? Are you having success? Do you have events and shoots lined up for the coming months, the coming year? What does it look like for you? I just want you to kind of imagine or think about your friends that are photographers that might be like just, out there kind of struggling, or maybe they're thriving. I feel like a lot of the people that I know that are photographers are thriving, but there's a lot of photographers out there that aren't. So if you know of somebody that is out there and struggling, think about what they're doing and where they are, and just kind of like imagine what it could be, right? If they are struggling. So, because it's totally common, these are challenges that come up all the time for photographers, um, especially if you're like, trying to figure out what direction to go. Inconsistent income and inquiries and bookings can be definitely a huge challenge for a new photographer or one that's actually in business but hasn't had that consistent income. They could feel like they're working all the time and having challenges attracting premium, high paying clients, which we all want. Um, and how do you even know how to get them, right? If you don't, if you're not out there working and you don't have consistency, a lot of photographers and, people that that are photographers, they'll have lack of confidence in what they charge, right? And just be like, spin and spin and spin in their head and wonder like, oh my gosh, are they not responding back because like my prices are too low or too high, or whatever. It's a common challenge that photographers have. Um, and then making more money and believing in your skills, right? And the value that you bring to clients. Like, I honestly don't even think I struggle with that anymore, but I definitely did in the beginning, and work life balance, like just trying to get everything. You're in that mindset of like, I got to start this business, I got to get it going. And you're doing everything as much as possible, and you just don't have any balance, And then on the other thing that's a biggie is dealing with clients who don't value you and your craft, and that they're like, they basically want the cheapest photographer out there, and they're going to put a Facebook post out there saying like, does anybody know of a photographer that can do this? And um, and what's a reasonable rate? And then you see like 5,000 photographers saying, oh, I'll do it for this. And then you get down to like, oh, I'll do it for free. And it's like, it's just a race to the bottom. I've seen it. It just kind of makes me laugh. I've never done it myself, but I've had people refer me those kind of posts, and I'm just kind of like, no, thank you. But these are all things that come up with photographers. Or have come up, depending on where you are in your business. And they're definitely common challenges, right? But I want you to now kind of think about what could be, which is I feel like I experienced this. So it's definitely all possible. If you just close your eyes and think about like, oh, all those awful things that I just went over, like could a dream outcome be that you have consistent, predictable income with regular inquiries and bookings? Like, could that be a possibility? It can. Could you work less and earn more with premium high paying clients? It's definitely possible. I've done it. And I've been in that rat race of the challenge, and building your business and trying to figure it all out. But I can tell you that you can confidently charge what you're worth and actually hear yes regularly. Yes more than no. Um, and you can hit six figures doing what you love, and you can have room to scale and have unshakable belief in your values and success. You can have balance and freedom and build a business around your life, not the other way around. And you can also attract clients who value your craft and not just your price. These things are all possible. And I can tell you example after example of how you can have this, okay? So now I want you to think about, after this presentation, I want you to walk away knowing what you want is possible and you can make great doing money doing what you love. If you're a photographer, or if you're not, or if you know a photographer, I feel like this slide needs to be your mantra for 2026. It's totally possible, and I'm going to teach you how in this presentation. So, what we're going to cover today is my favorite niche in photography, which is event photography. Why I think it is an absolute gold mine, my three-step system to building a six-figure event photography business, and how you can fast track your success. Okay. So, welcome, and thanks for taking the time to sit and watch this. I'm your host, Rachel Capil. I'm a professional photographer in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've been doing photography for, gosh, 20 years. It's been a long time, 20 plus years, I think, right? 2004? Yeah, 20 plus years. Crazy. I work with big companies like Apple, Porsche, City of Walnut Creek, Raymond James, John Muir. Lucille Packard is one of my clients, current clients. Raymond James and them are two clients that I love. And I've worked with countless families, hundreds and hundreds of families. I mean, probably into maybe even the thousands since I've been doing it so long. I have built a consistent multi six-figure income photography business. Took me a minute in the beginning. I definitely spun my wheels and went through all of those challenges that I mentioned in the beginning, which is why I mentioned them, because it's super common. And in this presentation, I'm going to show you how I built a six-figure business. I've definitely made well over $1 million in my business, and it's totally possible. And it's so fun. It does not have to be hard. It can be fun and enjoyable. So some of you may know, some of you may not know. I went from burnt out on life to a booked out photographer, and I was married, miserable in Florida. And I had a friend that said I should do something that I love. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, I kind of like photography. Like, photography is fun, right? And so I was like, I had a friend that was doing wedding photography that I used to watch online, and I was like, she was doing really well. And I'm like, I could do that. I could take that picture. I'm like, what's so different about her than me? And so I just said, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go. So I started like figuring out like kind of how to use the camera, because that's a process, right? You have to figure out how to use the camera. And then I just figured out what I like to shoot. Started taking classes, and then in Florida, I ended up assisting an editorial photographer, and then I kind of got into a little bit of weddings, teeny tiny bit, um, just kind of feeling it all out. And then I moved back home, and I discovered, after a plethora of like portraits and shooting anything and everything out there, that the event market was where the money was at. So I kind of tapped into some people that I knew, and started doing events, and it was like amazing. I literally got like, consistent five-figure months and dream clients, and a lot less stress, like of trying to figure out how to do portraits and what to shoot. And once I got dialed in and how to like figure out how to get in that event space, it just all started coming. So I'm going to talk about that in this presentation. So why events, I think, are the best way to six figures in photography. First off, they're high paying and often less hours, like than you would be doing for portraits. And I guess like product stuff. I don't really do product photography. No, it's not very easy though. You don't have to create the moment or do a ton of mini sessions. Yeah. And then with the mini sessions, you have to, unless you have a space to do them, with lighting and all that, it's like can be really challenging, because you could like go outside and then it could be forecast of rain, right? Then you have to redo all the sessions or whatever, or you could be limited because of where you live. It's super hot, it's super cold, whatever. You don't have to like make a moment or do those. That's what I love about events. They're just kind of there, and then you just capture the moment. And then events create more future work and way easier repeat clients, like way easier. I'm telling you, it's like so much easier. It's awesome. And I honestly think it's an underserved niche. Like, there are so many different types of events, you could do. There's just a plethora of different types of events. Like, you've got weddings, you've got corporate, you've got bar and bat mitzvahs, you've got quinceañeras, you've got birthday parties, social events, gender reveals for babies, baby showers, bridal showers. There's so many different types of events that you could do. And it's community based. So you're constantly going to get referrals. It's like amazing. So that's why I think it is amazing to do events and get to six figures with this specific niche. So I'm going to go over my three-step event formula, which is basically you have to position yourself as the go-to expert, you have to price for profit, and you have to promote with purpose. And then I'm going to give you guys a bonus at the end, which is seemingly to be a very popular bonus because I did this at another summit and I had a ton of signups for my bonus. So I'm excited to share that with you to see how you guys like it here on YouTube. But the first step is you must position yourself as the local event pro. So, what does this mean? It essentially means you have to craft your entire brand around your expertise. So, you are the event expert. You're the local pro for events. Excuse me, everyone that knows me knows that I do event photography and I'm actually getting it to the point where I'm like, I just want to do one specific event only. And I might have to like kind of taper back my corporate clients. So you want to craft yourself around that brand that you're the expert in events. And you want to create a clean event specific website and portfolio. When you go to my website, you will see that it is very clear what I photograph. So when I have that very specific niche, people look at you as the expert and the go-to person. Like I've literally had clients tell me like, "Oh, I was looking at this other photographer, but they didn't really have what I wanted like displayed on their website." And so I was like, I could get somebody that could do it, but like I'd rather have a specific person that's in the niche like me, right? So when he came across my website, I had this call yesterday. He was like, it's clear that this is what you do and you're the expert in it. So you want to speak directly to that event client. So they know that this is your expertise, this is what value you bring, and they should hire you for that, right? Because it just makes you look like more of a professional versus a competition. Okay. So then you want to price for profit. Now, I know this is hard for a lot of clients or for a lot of photographers. It can be like just a challenge, like kind of seeing your value and what you're worth. But I'm telling you, you got to get over that. And my bonus at the end, which I will share with you, will help you with that. It's completely changed my life, and I'm super excited to share it. So, stop undercharging. You have to offer a three-tier package. Keep it simple. I have a very simple and clear package that offers three different ones, kind of small, medium, large. I include albums, pre-event sessions, rush delivery, et cetera, things like that. I have add-ons that I do, but I keep it very, very simple that, for the client so they don't have to think too much because a confused client never purchases, right? So keep it clean, clear, and concise. And you always want to focus on value, not just hours. So one of the things that what I mean by this, by value, is like you want the client to know that you're the expert and you want them to know that you're here for them to help them and guide them along the way. So if it's weddings, you're going to know all the top, event planners, the best bridal boutiques, the best florals. Like you're going to know all of those different people that are going to be in that niche that you can just show that you can serve the client and you just look like the expert. Okay. You don't want to look like somebody that kind of is willy nilly, doesn't do this as a profession, and is not, they're just not really professional. You want to like be the expert. Okay. So focus on giving first, helping them and showing them that you are the expert, you're the professional, and you are there as like a person that can, serve them. Right. Because there's so many people that just start doing wedding photography and they just want the money and they don't, you know what I mean? Like they don't come with value. And so you don't stand out in the client's mind as like the true professional person that they would want to hire. So the next thing is step number 3 is you want to promote, right? So once you become that expert, and it's not super hard to become the expert, you just Google like what bridal shops in your area. It's not like super hard. Go to a couple networking events and figure it out, right? But the next step is now you want to promote smart marketing for big results. Promote with purpose. So how you get your name out there and like showcase that you're the expert and the true professional in the industry is like partnering with the correct people that have your client but are not in direct competition with you. So you don't, like, let's say you're doing weddings or quinceaneras, like, quinceanera would be like a good vendor would be like partnering with like obviously like the DJs, the planners, the venues, right? But then another one could be like Spanish speaking classes, like people or dressmakers for quinceaneras, right? For bar and bat mitzvahs, it's like temples and the DJs and the planners and who else? Like balloon vendors, different people that have your clientele, but that are not in direct competition with you. Because when they're in direct competition with you, that just makes it a little bit more challenging. But you don't want to sleep on those direct competition like other photographers because they could really benefit you too. Like you could totally get business from, like I do, from other photographers. But I think a lot of people don't like, especially photographers, they get scarcity mindset around that, which again, my freebie at the end will be such a good bonus for you because it'll help you with that. But I have a photographer out here that I refer all the time, and she refers me like because we've closed business with each other. So I'm not going to give that business to a photographer that doesn't send business my way, right? So it's like building that relationship, and just adding value and showcasing that you're the professional. It'll get you more business. And then you want to use Instagram and have an email strategy to help with your marketing. So, first and foremost, you cannot just have Instagram because Instagram is great. But if a client is coming to you for like weddings, they want to see wedding work. They want to see if they're quinceanera, they want to see quinceanera work or bar mitzvah work. They're not going to want to see everything that you shoot on Instagram. And there's not really a way to filter it on Instagram. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of Instagram, but I do get business from Instagram. And there are so many ways that you can get business from Instagram that I don't have time to get into it right now because it'd be like hours and I don't think I can do a live for hours. But yeah, just you want to have Instagram, but you also want to have a website that you can send out and you want to have an email marketing strategy. So, one of my things that I do, I love, is I send an email out each week and I'm sorry, not each week, each month. And I feature an event that I loved and I shot. And then I, tag the appropriate vendors and I do the same thing in Instagram. And it's just kind of like scratching each other's back, letting people know that are in business to do the specific niche of event photography and that you're out there, you're working and you're putting the vendors in front of your sphere and then they will want to do the same, right? Some will, some won't. But from that energy, you're going to get more business, right? So that is number two. And number three, you want to master the event consultation call. Now, I feel like this always came naturally to me, but there's definitely a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And so I cannot go over all of the details of the consultation call, but essentially, you want to just, my advice to you is just become a person of value, become a professional, a person that offers a lot of value, that basically is there to serve and help the client. Because at the end of the day, even if they don't hire you, I mean, if you come from the right energy, they will. Like if the price is right, even if the price isn't right, they'll refer you, right? Because you're the expert and you are giving value and you're helping them and you're serving them. Okay. But there are so many intricacies about the sales call that I do that are so beneficial and help you close the client, I'm telling you, or at least walk away giving them such a great impression of you that it's going to be hard for them to say no, right? Usually, when clients say no, it's just that they probably don't value photography that much, number one, or the price is just, I would say the price is wrong for them, like they can't afford me. And that's fine because they just don't value the photography. But in that consultation call, I ask specific questions to kind of find out and know, okay, this client can afford me or this client can't. And there's certain things you have to know and do, but you have to master that call. But the most important thing is you just come from value, 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 give, help, help, help. And you will see it, return to you, the effort. Now, this is leading into my bonus, which I am so excited about because I think I think this is probably the biggest, the biggest part of business and success is identity work. People don't realize it, but we all have an identity. What's your identity? Are you a photographer? Are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you a business owner? Are you a CEO? Are you a employee? Are you art director? What are you? Okay. So you have to step into the identity. If you want to be a six-figure photographer, you have to step into that identity of a six-figure photographer, not a five-figure photographer. So what is a five-figure photographer? Probably like a photographer that photographs for like 500 bucks or 300 bucks, 350 and gives everything away. You can't do that. It's like shoot and burn. You're just going to burn out. The six-figure photographer is like, no, I want to make 600 bucks an hour and I want to work 8 hours. And then I'm going to probably net maybe like $100 an hour, right? Because 100 bucks an hour, pretty sure that would make six figures, right? Pretty sure. I think my sister makes like 75 or 50. 75 times 8 times 40 times 4. Yeah, that's like six figures. So you have to identify as a six-figure photographer. You can't identify as a five-figure photographer. So you have to step into like a new realm of thinking. And sometimes this is really hard because if you think like, oh, I want to just charge like 50 bucks an hour, like, no, we got bills to pay, we got things to do, you got to charge more. So when you identify as that six-figure photographer, you position your price and you promote yourself way differently with that identity shift than if you weren't. Okay. Identity shifts can definitely take time. I like to think that you could do it instantly, but the facts and the reality are probably like it might take a little bit of time. It could happen instantly. You could just take, a thought and become it. But oftentimes people have to kind of grow into it and do the necessary things to like make that shift. And once you make that shift into your identity and you start doing it, you'll start like sending out your rates and you'll have like confidence and belief that you can get it, and you'll start swimming in the right circles and start getting events that will pay you what you're worth. Okay. So it's just an energy that you put out, and it might seem a little woo woo, but I'm telling you, it's actually really not. And it's really easy and really fun once you step into it. Because I can tell you last month, I think I got 18 inquiries. And of those inquiries, I think four ish, maybe five couldn't afford me. And then the rest are slowly trickling in. And the others, I've kind of saved the date into 2027 and 28. And then we're going to solidify as soon as they get their venues and everything locked down. But with my niche and events, they tend to plan out really far in advance and have to kind of book things and just want to get on my calendar. And so, yeah, so I had that. I say probably, I think, yeah, four or five couldn't afford me. But then this month, I feel like I've had, where am I at, 19? I think I've had like 8, 10. I'd have to look, eight, between 8 and 10. And I had 2 calls yesterday and I gave him my new rates because I raised my rates. And I'm like, they're both going to book because I'm the best in this area. And I want to see people finally realizing that. And I tell you, one emailed me at last night at 10 that she wanted the contract, and the other one I'm waiting on. So we'll see. But I'm pretty confident he's going to realize that I'm, my photography and energy is much better than the competition. So you have to take that shift and step into the new identity. So this is my little freebie that I'm giving you guys. I think people are really loving it, and I'm actually pretty excited for it too. It's completely changed my life. I have done this every single day for probably, I'd say like a year and a half, 2 years maybe. And I believe, honestly, with all my heart, it was what got me to multi six figures last year. And it's so simple. It's literally a visualization that you do every single morning. I did it, I think, morning, noon, and night in the beginning. And it just completely leveled up my life. and took my photography to the next level. And I tell you, it'll completely shift your mindset too. It's a very simple 5-minute guided visualization. Just take your phone here and just scan the QR code. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. It'll take you right to my site. You put in your name and it will give you the PDF with the YouTube video that you will basically just listen in the morning. You could do it morning, noon, and night if you want. It's 5 minutes, and it'll completely shift your mind and your mindset and your brain to start stepping into that new identity of what you want to become, which is a six-figure photographer. So check it out, scan it, and try it. I would give it a go for like, I do mine every morning and then you can at night. It's really short. Start off, twice a day, and then you can taper off to just in the morning and just see it and kind of listen to what I talk about in the guided visualization and just follow what I say, and you'll start to see results. I promise. And these are some things people are saying about me. You can go out over to my Trustpilot and check it out. But it's just, people that I've worked with, they have results and they're starting to see some great success, and I love it. Yeah, and you can always drop questions in the chat, or if you want, in the descriptions box below, just ask me anything. I'm always happy to help. And I totally know you got this. Thanks so much for joining. And please let me know what you think about my guided visualization and how it helps you and the success that you start seeing. Because I tell you, all the things I talked about, the tactical things, you can do that and you will get results, promise. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to do it. You just have to network in the right circles. You have to price appropriately. You have to have faith. But it's when you start stepping into that identity that you really start to see results. And I don't think people know, especially photographers and business owners, they don't realize how important like your mind is, and how stepping and shifting into that new person that you want to become can completely shift and change your life. It truly, truly, truly can. And it's done it for me. I've done it for the last 2 years. And the results I've seen are just amazing. Like, it's pretty awesome. And I mean, I'm booking out till 2028. And I think I shot last year, I feel like I shot like 27, 30 events. And now I've already booked out 25 for this year. And I'm booking into 2027 and 28. So if you want those same results, definitely check it out and follow me on Instagram and DM me comments, comment down below. I'm happy to help. But I would love to hear some of the results that you're seeing from doing that identity shift visualization, because I'm telling you, it works. It's pretty freaking amazing. And I love it. I love doing it myself, and I love seeing the results. So definitely comment below. Thanks for hanging and watching. And if you are on the replay of this, just comment down below if you have questions. I'm always happy to help.